Hey guys, the Comics Kid 2099 here with a review of the Season 2 episode of Batman Beyond titled Eyewitness. If you haven't seen the episode, you should do so before you proceed with this video. Or if you don't mind the spoilers, then stick around as I sum up the plot of the episode before I get into the review itself. We begin with the sting operation that Batman accidentally interrupts, destroying a year of police work. Commissioner Barbara Gordon tells Bruce that she's tired of Terry's mistakes, and she will be less forgiving if it happens again. Cut to a ceremony for Barbara's husband, where the political terrorist Mad Stan attacks. Batman comes out of the woodwork to stop him, and the fight carries over to a parking garage. When Barbara enters, she sees Batman kill Mad Stan. The rest of the episode is the police chasing Batman, with Bruce and Terry trying to figure out what really happened. Turns out Spellbinder used his illusory powers to make Barbara see what she saw. Batman stops Spellbinder, and all is forgiven between Barbara and Terry. Cue credits. This episode is very similar to episodes of Batman the Animated Series, like Perchance to Dream or Over the Edge. Both episodes make use of hallucinations or dream sequences to make the hero question reality. The big difference is that when you see the police hunting down Batman and they fully know his secret identity, you as part of the audience knows that this isn't air quotes real. Same with Perchance to Dream, when Bruce's parents are alive and Bruce has a happy life. You know it isn't real, you're just trying to figure out what's really going on. But in this episode, there's much less certainty. The episode is very careful to remind audiences that Terry used to be a bad kid, so the idea that he might decide that Mad Stan is too dangerous to be kept alive, while very unlikely, especially in a children's cartoon in the late 90s, the whole scenario is still much more believable than what was presented in Perchance to Dream or Over the Edge from Batman the Animated Series. This episode also differs a little bit from those episodes in that instead of making the main hero question reality, we have a side character in Barbara Gordon who is being targeted with the hallucinations, though this comes to the same effect as we're trying to figure out what is going on. What I really like about this episode is Spellbinder's motives, though they aren't specifically spelled out for us. Far too often, a supervillain will have some kind of motivation that is weak and hackneyed and only exists to put him in the crosshairs of the hero. Then the villain lives to fight the hero. I have to get revenge because he put a stop to my plans that one time. At that point, it's like the character motivations don't even matter. He's a bad guy, so he fights the good guy. That's just how it is. And this episode sort of plays with that, but in a way that makes sense. In his first couple of appearances, Spellbinder used his illusion technology purely for financial gain. First by hypnotizing his patients into stealing for him, and then by creating a virtual reality drug that people paid money to use. And both times, Batman foiled his plans. It makes quite a bit of sense that eventually Spellbinder would want to get rid of Batman if he wanted to have any chance of success as a villain in Gotham City. And he goes about it in a very smart way by playing the entire police department against Batman. Of course, he couldn't have known that Barbara Gordon has a connection to the Bat family, which makes this hunt for Batman even more harrowing for Terry, but it's possible that it was public knowledge that Gordon used to have a very anti-Batman stance, and she gradually softened in her approach to Batman. So to gently nudge Gordon into using the entire police department to capture Batman is very smart of Spellbinder, and his plan would have worked if he didn't have the world's greatest detective working against him. There are a few things in this episode that I could quibble about, like how in the round world did Spellbinder know when to target Gordon and make her see Batman killing someone, or how I was under the impression that Gordon already knew about Terry's spotty record, or how Spellbinder's virtual reality simulation chamber was, last time I checked, harmful if used too much, and here the police are throwing Mad Stan in there like it's nobody's business. Yeah, I could complain about those things, but I enjoyed this episode far too much to let those minor quibbles bother me. So that's what I thought of this episode. Remarkably executed, even though the premise is something we've seen before. It's also really nice to see character continuity, such as the relationship between Barbara and Terry, played up for an entire episode like this. So those are my thoughts. What did you guys think of the episode and of my review? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, then hopefully you'll check out my review of the Batman the Animated Series 2-parter Quest of the Demon next weekend. And then the week after that, I'll be back for another episode of Batman Beyond. And if you did like this review, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll see you next week with some other videos. Take care.